for. The only thing I've heard about Ariel, and I've heard it from a million people, does not play well with others.
Yeah.
Anybody I know who's ever worked with him does not have nice things to say. Anybody I've ever talked to in the MMA space says do not work with him. Now, I never judge a book by its cover. I'm sure people have had their issues with him. I've never worked with him, nor would I have no reason to. You know, he's a journalist, not what I do. But I've never had any issues with him. But anybody I know, people that I consider friends, people in that MMA journalist space say he's an absolute nightmare. Like, remember when he went through the Fox thing and Dana banned him? Notice how no one stuck up for him? When none of your peers stick up for you, that's a bad sign. But again, I don't know. Might be awesome.
Never know.
Here's Ariel's response to Brendan. Ariel tells him to keep his name out of his mouth.
Brendan went on his show and talked about me being a nightmare to work with, me being a bad teammate. He's heard from a million of different people that I'm the worst to work with. Talk to my colleagues. Talk to my friends if that's the truth. Talk to the production team if that's the truth. I've worked very hard to try and be the best teammate and colleague possible to help people out along the way. And so again, talk about me being a bad journalist all you want. Bad show all you want. But don't talk about what's inside here. Don't question the kind of person that I am. Try to take me down because you may be jealous or because you have some other bizarre reason for talking about me as a person when you don't even know me. I don't go personal. I don't talk about you like that. I have nothing to do with you. Leave my name out of your mouth, especially when you want to lie about me. You want to talk about my show being great? You want to talk about me being the 10-time journalist of the year? All you want, but don't lie about me. Don't lie, because I will come after you. I will respond. And so I did get a text from him this morning, and I said, I appreciate it, but now do it on your show. It's very easy to apologize privately. Be a man and do it on the air. For the lies about 199, for the lies about me being a bad teammate, for the lies about the Jake Paul fight, be a man, stop lying, stop making up stories, and apologize on the air. And he said he would, and I'm looking forward to that. Stop talking about me, because those guys have been doing it for a long time, and I know what it's rooted in. But High Road Helwani ain't no more. You're looking at the Helwani era, all right? This is independent Helwani. I ain't taking those shots anymore. So everyone better know, if they come at the king, you best not miss.
Yesterday, Dustin Poirier tweeted undisputed world champion. Today, multiple sources confirmed MMA Fighting that Dustin versus Charles Oliveira is being targeted for the main event at UFC 269 on December 11th. Who do you guys think takes the W? Post your predictions in the comments. Chris Weidman on his YouTube channel responds to backlash from fans, saying that the reason that he had to have another surgery on his leg is because he came back to training too fast.
I wanted to address some people's comments, some fans, people who support me, and maybe some people who don't support me. Either way, I've seen some comments possibly blaming me for having to go into a second surgery, saying that I shouldn't have been doing certain things and I came back too fast, and that's why my fibula didn't heal properly. My doctor and all the other doctors I've been in touch with during this whole process all have okayed everything that I did prior to finding out my fibula didn't heal properly. So basically what ended up happening is that in the first surgery, they put a rod through my tibia bone. That's my weight-bearing bone. So the more I was up on my feet, the more that bone would heal. The fibula bone was almost an afterthought. That is really a small amount of weight-bearing bone. It doesn't really affect you too much. Some people have no fibula, where you could take it out and use that bone for something else. If I wasn't a fighter, I would be fine. I wouldn't have had to get this second surgery. But because I'm being kicked in that leg, and I'm going to be kicking with that leg, and pivoting kind of in explosive ways, we had to get it done. If I wasn't a fighter, they could have waited another 3-4 months and seen if it eventually bonded together. But the way it worked out, and just not my fault, not the surgeon's fault, the way it ended up kind of healing was a little bit distant and a little bit shifted to the left, and not completely parallel with each other, or they're not completely flush with each other. And I try to do everything I possibly could to get that bone to heal properly by just getting up on my feet and moving, creating more blood flow to the area. But unfortunately, it didn't work. And now I have 2 new plates in that fibula holding it completely flush together, and I will have no issues. I probably got more metal on my leg from the knee down than I have bone in my leg. It's kind of crazy. So I'm put together strong all the way throughout now. I feel so much better after the second surgery than I felt after my first surgery. Just pain-wise, the way I'm able to move around, the fact that they didn't go inside my knee joint like they did the first time. I just feel so much better getting up on my feet. Expect me to come back as fast as I possibly can while listening to my body. Yeah.
Chris Cyborg says that Ronda Rousey was more dangerous than Kayla Harrison. She also speaks on fighting Kayla herself. She said, "I think it's going to be a great fight for me. She don't need to come in at 145, we could fight at 155. She said it was the last fight on her contract too. I saw and I believe maybe she's going to sign with the UFC, but she can make more money than Amanda Nunes in PFL. I don't know if it's going to be worth it, but maybe we can do one fight, champion versus champion. Scott Coker can be my co-promoter, maybe in the future. It's a great fight." I was supposed to fight Ronda Rousey before and I was training for a camp. The first thing you train in judo is to learn to fall, because when you're going to fight judo, maybe you're going to fall, yes, but you have to know what to do after. I believe Ronda Rousey was more dangerous than Kayla. Her transitions were fast, her technique was fast, and I know Kayla got a gold medal in the Olympics, but I think it's a different level about the speed, about the transitions for the submissions. Dustin Poirier says that Islam Makhachev is probably the toughest fight for him at 155 pounds. He went on to say, "For a few years now, I think 155 has been one of, if not the toughest division in the UFC. It's been top heavy for a lot of years, with a lot of contenders waiting for their shot. And now there's new guys in the mix and it's growing stronger. But right off the top, I don't really know. I think Khabib would, but he's not in the mix right now. Maybe Islam Makhachev. Similar style. He's just so advanced, and his feet are like hands. His foot sweeps and the way it breaks you down, it's good. He's good. So good. I got smothered and my goal was to turn it into a fight. I wanted it to be a fight, and he just smothered me and did what he does, and I couldn't stop it. I've been grappling a long time." And that's gonna wrap it up for the news. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post future ones. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Nico G. It says, "That dude didn't want to be filmed because of his past, yet he films himself for the whole world to watch. Bruh." The second one says, "I'd rather see Bisping versus Homeless Guy than Woodley versus Paul too." And the final one says, "He's like a Bond villain. He's got an outfit." Made me laugh out loud. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured on the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. Also be sure to check out the other types of MMA content we post on this channel. Click either of the 2 videos on the screen right now.
Brian has the video, so
Harrington beat it.
right. Yes, so Harrington, don't come on and annoy us, but Harrington, play the video, please.
Знаете, давайте вот Рингерс. Я никого не хочу обидеть, но это самый ненужный.
Didn't know it was in Russian.
Okay, forget it. Hold on. No,
the video off.
Fuck the video.
Yes, brother, listen. I don't know how your Russian is these days, but for me, I don't like to do this. Yeah, what did he say exactly? He said, Harrington, come on and read out the quote then. After all, you get the chance.
Okay. Well, the juicy part of the quote, ring girls are the most useless people in martial arts. Khabib did go ahead of that and said, he didn't want to offend anybody with that statement. But he did say that his new promotion, Eagle Fighting Championships, which is going to be on UFC Fight Pass, will not be having any ring girls because he just doesn't see the point in them. He said, if you're coming there for the ring girls, don't show up that day. If you're coming there to see the best athletes on the planet, that's why you come to Eagle Fighting Championship.
Okay. All right. Listen, fair play. But I will say that I got 2 things to say on that. Nobody goes for the ring girls. Nobody goes for the ring girls. It's, hold on a minute. So it's Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 4. But who's the ring girls? What are we talking with here? Is it Ariane? Is it Brittany? Oh, Brittany. I'm fucking going to that one. That's not how it works. And when he says the most useless people in martial arts, correct. They are, but they're not getting in the cage and fighting. They're a little bit of extra for the show. And I like it because it's historic in boxing and now with MMA, of course. You have a ring card, and it adds to the crowd, and it adds to the pomp and circumstance of it all, and it's a little bit of fun. So, Khabib, I love you.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's not like like I do understand like there is this sort of a sexist undertone. I do get it. And if there was some feministy blue-haired chick with glasses and she was sitting there like this, I would go, all right, I understand, but Khabib, calm down. You're a fighter. Relax, okay? We like looking at the chicks. They're hot. They're great, okay? And let us just get a little eye candy in between the fights. The ladies, the whole night, they get eye candy. It's fucking 18 fighters in their underwear that are humping each other. They got abs popping, veins popping everywhere. The ladies get a little bit of a visual, right? Now, we'd like to get a little bit of visual.
Well, so do the men, though, as well. If that's what you're saying, if that's what you're saying, if you're saying that the women are objectifying the men, shame on you, Lewis. My God, any woman that is in attendance is attending for the skill and the courage and the bravery on display of these men and women. And the men get the same thing. But if you're going to play that game, then you could say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Both are almost naked in there and they're both throwing fights. Listen, Khabib, God bless him. He's a man of honor and he doesn't play that game. That's not how he rolls, so to speak. And I get it. And as I say, I'm a huge fan of Khabib, so I'm not talking shit. But come on, man, let the girls have a job. They make a lot of money. I don't, with sponsorships and endorsements and things. They're famous in their own right.
Back in the day, it was better when there was like fewer ring girls, though, because you knew now there's almost too many. Like I don't even know who the new girls are, but like Ariane and Brittany, and there was a few chicks that were just like great. They almost had like they became like celebrities in their own right in the world of the UFC, and I almost feel like that doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah, well, Ariane and Brittany, they've got tremendous following. And as I say, they make a lot of money from endorsements. But I was going to say about OnlyFans. Apparently, and I'm not naming any names or saying any numbers, but I will say, I think some of them are making like $30,000-$40,000 a month on their fucking OnlyFans.
My ex-girlfriend makes $40,000 a month on her OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why did you think that you were more suited toward mixed martial arts than boxing, just with the lack of wrestling? Were you already doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at that time when you got into
I've
MMA?
done tremendous amounts of martial arts competitions. You know what I mean? I'd had tons of kickboxing fights. I'd had tons of grappling fights. When I was a kid, I was at competitions almost every week.
Well, I know you had done like Jiu-Jitsu, but you had done a ton of grappling. I didn't really understand
the sport Jiu-Jitsu that I did. It was essentially an MMA fight. You know what I mean? It was striking with throws and takedowns and submissions on the ground. Right. Or also called mixed martial arts in this modern day and age.
Right.
It just that term didn't exist back then. We're talking we're talking like 1990. I was fighting those rules. I got disqualified once for some reason. My dad actually almost had a fight with who actually became my head instructor, because I did a dropping hip throw where you land on the guy and then I went straight into an armbar. And right before we went out there to that competition, our jiu-jitsu club had been thrown out of the organization. The organization was called Uwara-Ru, right? And my sensei in Clitheroe went to the World Championships in America, but stuck around and did some seminars. But the head of the association said, don't do any teaching out there, because he thought it was all like secret bullshit. You know what I mean? Like no one has these moves, so you can stay, but don't do any teaching. Anyway, he did a seminar out there. So our club got thrown out of the organization. Oh, no. And I was going down to Nottingham a week later to compete in this tournament. And at the end of the training session, my sensei pulls my dad to one side and says, Michael will not win that tournament because we've been thrown out of the association. So I'm telling you right now, the guy in question, who shall remain nameless, will do whatever he can to make sure Michael doesn't win that tournament. Anyway, I didn't win the tournament because I broke the fucking rules. I fucking boom. I did a dropping hip throw and I went straight into an armbar, which I thought submissions were allowed. But apparently on this occasion, submissions aren't allowed. So they disqualified me. But my dad, being the psychopath that he is back then, was like, I fucking knew. I was told that Marco wouldn't win this tournament, and he went fucking mental. And in the middle of this massive martial arts tournament, the head guy that organized the whole thing and my dad are bloody almost coming to blows. There was about 5 people pulling my dad back. Is your
dad like a trained fighter at all?
No, he's not a trainer. I mean, listen, he was a sniper in the army, and he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. I don't think he's a martial artist. But
would the guy, the instructor, he probably would have handled your dad fairly easily.
I don't know. Unfortunately, I've seen my dad stick the fucking headbutt on plenty of people. Do you know what I mean? I've seen him take care of bigger pieces of shit than that guy. So you never know.
I got an ice bath for my backyard.
Oh shit! That's right. Sorry, pardon me.
No, but I think it's kind of interesting in general because I've never done it before. sauna. I've never done an ice bath, and I'm genuinely fucking nervous to put my body in this thing.
No, it's easy. Well, I say easy. The hard part is just get it in. It's just like anything. You know what I mean? When you go in the ocean and it's freezing cold, I always say to Beck, just once you're in, once your head's under, you're fine. You don't want to put your head under on the ice bath. What you want to do when you're in the ice bath, when you first get in, when you first get in, it's freezing cold. Obviously, it's a bath filled with ice. It's pretty cold, but your body acclimates pretty quickly. And after the worst minutes are the first 3 minutes, and after that, believe it or not, your nerve endings, something happens to them, and you actually start to feel warm. It's actually a very warm sensation. What you don't want to do, keep your hands out. Keep your hands out, because the nerve endings in your fingertips are incredibly sensitive. So if they go underwater, you feel way colder. So you just keep your hands out of the bath, and after 3-4 minutes, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I'll send you a video though. I'll post it on my social media. Not looking forward to it. But Tate he was posting himself in the ice bath, and he gave me some advice on it.
Never send me a video of you in the bath ever.
I'm just gonna send you a video of me in the shower.
I don't care if it's ice bath. I don't care if it's regular bath. I just don't want to see that. I don't need that evil in my life. The Hydro Jug is a unique water bottle designed to help you drink more and refill less. TheHydroJug.com. The promo code is Bisping at checkout for 10% off your order.
Hosting side of things.
Yeah, it's hit or miss sometimes, to be honest. I enjoy just talking and having conversation with some of the guys I bring on, so it's pretty good just getting on there, shooting the shit with the guys, not trying to make it seem like the normal interview that we all get interviewed like 6 times a day, the same questions. So try to keep it a little different.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're doing a great job with that so far. I know you told the Schmo you plan on returning in January. And last year when I spoke to you, you told me you want to do this for another 10 years. Yeah. Do you see yourself being with the UFC for basically the rest of your career?
Yeah, as long as we're both happy, I don't plan on going anywhere. I pretty much started my career in the UFC. I had a few pro fights outside of it, and then once I got in the UFC, it's been my home, so I definitely plan to finish here in 5 years, 10 years. I'm set in 10 years. Hopefully I'll be able to say no in 5 years, so we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you fought so many great fighters, and you're a great fighter yourself, but from Tony Ferguson, Khabib, Justin Gaethje, Nate Diaz, and so many more, is there someone that you haven't fought yet you've always wanted to fight?
It's funny you say that, and I consider this guy like a friend of mine. I've always looked up to him in the sport, started training with him. It's Donald Cowboy. I've always been like, weird. So how have we not fought each other, bro? We're so fucking great. Both of us stand up and like fighting, but just I don't know if he's willing to come back down at lightweight and fight me. So we'll see. Maybe who knows who the January fight would be. I haven't fought Jeremy Stevens. He's another guy that we can go in there and strike with. So we'll see.
Yeah, all those definitely sound like fun fights, and I know the fans would definitely love that as well. But like I just mentioned, you fought so many great fighters. Who presented the toughest challenge in your opinion?
Yeah, that's got to be Khabib. Come on. He's just, it was rough. I took that fight on like 2-3 week notice, which a lot of people really don't talk about, which is fine. But, I just wasn't that prepared to fight somebody that caliber, but I just saw the opportunity. I was like, hell, why not? It's a big risk, big reward. Of course, I'm going to fight the best of the best at Madison Square Garden. So that just intrigued me to fight it. It was definitely one of the toughest ones. And, I've learned a lot from that fight.
Now, a lot of people mention his name or include his name in the MMA GOAT debate. So where do you think he ranks amongst the MMA GOATs?
Ooh, that's a little tricky one. I was just having this conversation the other day, too. That's so funny. It's really hard to not say John's at the top of that list, just based off the champions he's beaten and everybody like that. Khabib's definitely at the top of the list. I don't think I'd give him the very top of the list, just based off of the quality of opponents that he's beaten based on John Jones. So it's very tight between those two guys.
Now, a couple big fights coming up, one of them being for the featherweight title, Alex Volkanovski, Brian Ortega. Would love to get your opinion on who you think wins that fight.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with T-City. Yeah, Brian Ortega, I mean, he's just improving, you know, like you always think he's a jiu-jitsu guy and he improves with striking, and then his striking just goes off the chain, and then you forget about his jiu-jitsu. So I think T-City's going to take that one.
And the rematch between Colby Covington and someone you know very well, you've trained with and sparred against before, Kamaru Usman. Who do you think takes the rematch?
I'm going with my guy Usman. Come on now, you know, we just started from day one, and you know we're good friends and everything. I might be a little biased, but you know the first fight was very tough, but he got the finish. I think he's going to finish him earlier this round, so no controversy.
For all your fans who can't wait to watch for your return and watch the Cage Minds episode number 20, what would you like to let them know?
Yeah, just stay tuned, everybody. You know, just keep rocking with me, and see you guys in January.
Speaking to Misha Tate and Ryan McKinnell on SiriusXM Fight Nation 156, Gaethje discussed his new UFC contract and shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight against Chandler. Here's what he said.
However, I hope that you're making more money with the new contract sign.
I am making more money, yeah.
Well, cheers to that.
For sure. I'm
Money.
Yeah, man, it's an entertainment business, and I am entertaining as hell when I step in there. So yeah, they pay me good money.
All right, so talk to me about Michael Chandler. How did this come together? I mean, I think a lot of us kind of thought that would be the next progression that made sense, given the way that your careers and the trajectory and the crosswire just seemed to be there. But give me your thoughts, how this fight's come together, and what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm ranked number 2 right now, and coming off a loss, with the guy retiring after he beat me, it was really things, kind of into a spin. And, they made the title shot with Chandler and Oliveira. I can't say so much. Oliveira should have been there. At the end of the day, the guy's been there forever. But Chandler should have never been in that fight. So, I was a little bitter about that. And ultimately, I'm happy I get to knock the dude out that took my spot. So, yeah, this is a good opportunity for me.
A fighter got brutally knocked out during weigh-ins in a video making the rounds on Twitter. In a video tweeted by Baralella Pierna, 2 fighters were weighing in when one threw a flying knee and knocked the other out. According to Barstool Sports, the situation took place in Belarus. Here's the video. Luke Rockhold hasn't fought since 2019 when he got defeated by Jan Blachowicz in his light heavyweight debut. Now, the former middleweight champion is making his return to the octagon against Sean Strickland at UFC 268 on November 6th. Speaking to his longtime friend and teammate Daniel Cormier on the DC and RC show, Rockhold discussed his mindset heading into the fight and explained why he doesn't like Strickland. Here's the clip.
DC, you know as well as me, like you said, you read off the accomplishments. I've done it. I've done Strikeforce World Championships. I've done UFC World Championships. And the mindset is you never let losing into your brain. And so, that's not a thought process. So I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about whooping this kid's ass. I'm thinking about putting myself back where I belong, where I know I can be. I knew he was tough. I seen him in the gym, and I knew he was tough. It wasn't a name at all, and no one really knew of him, and it didn't excite me. Now he's got a good ranking, and it's Madison Square Garden too. So between the two, the card, the stage, and obviously taking a ranking, getting somewhat of a name. They pushed him pretty hard last time, so it gets me up. And this kid just, I really don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like the way he treats people in the gym. And he's just a guy that goes out there and says he wants to kill somebody in the ring. He'd be happy if he killed somebody. We're all professionals here, and that to have that thought process is just the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I just don't like I said, I've seen him in the gym. I've seen how he treats people, and he's not someone to I want to see representing the sport.
In a recent interview with Submission Radio, Anderson Silva, who had a terrible broken leg against Chris Weidman, offered some advice to Conor McGregor as he recovers from the injury. For Conor right now is take time and continue work and continue doing the physiotherapy, continue working the upper body, and stay mind outside the fight game. Just keep the focus on your recovery and don't think about you gotta fight tomorrow or in 6 months. Just recover your body. Stay ready to prepare your mind for when you're back strong, you're back better. Your mind, you need to stay ready and connect to heart to make you more powerful, to continue challenging yourself and prove how much you love your job and how much you can continue to do this when you have the same Anderson, the same Weidman, the same Conor. Mentally, it's very important. Speaking to UFC News, Paddy Pimblett discussed his long-awaited UFC debut and claimed that he wants to become the biggest name in the sport within a few years. The former Cage Warriors champion will face Luigi Vendramini this Saturday at UFC Vegas 36.
I can't wait, lad. Absolutely cannot wait. People keep asking me how I feel and that, if I'm nervous and that. This has been a long time coming, lad. I can't wait to put on a show for everyone. I'm going to steal the show, lad. Come Saturday night, Sunday morning, everyone's going to be talking about me. Well, yeah, I'm used to all like the pressure and stuff like that, what gets put on you. This is nothing new for me, all pictures and videos and stuff like that. This is just second nature. I'm used to all this. I've been getting pictures constantly over the past 5 years with fans, so as I say, this is where I'm meant to be. This is my destiny. I'm going to be the biggest name in this sport over the next few years. Yeah, I just think as myself. I don't think of no one else, know what I mean? I'm my own man. I don't have to look outside at other people and think about them because everyone's their own person, just like I am, and I'm going to have my own path, and it's going to be a fun-filled path. Oh, the walk's still going to be the same, man. As you say, I always wear my heart on my sleeve. What you see is what you get with me, and I'm still going to be bouncing out in this arena, just as if there was 2 people here or there was 20,000 people here, I'd still be bouncing out exactly the same. And on Cage Warriors, I'm 2-0 with 2 first-round finishes with no crowd. So again, the omens are stacked in my favour, lad. I'm going to finish him in a round. Oh, I know I'm going to outclass him wherever the fight goes. If he wants to strike with me, I'll beat him up on the feet. If he wants to try and grapple with me, I'll submit him. Literally, it doesn't matter to me where this fight goes. He can dictate where the fight goes because I'll finish it wherever it is. Oh, it's going to be special, lad.
Last Sunday, Jake Paul defeated former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley via split decision. Speaking on Below the Belt podcast, Brendan Schaub shared his thoughts on the fight and praised Paul for his impressive performance against the former UFC welterweight champion. Here's the clip.
Going into this fight, there's so much unknown with Jake Paul. We've seen him starch the likes of Nate Robinson and Ben Askren, but we don't know much. You had no idea what the kid was capable of. We don't know if he's a real fighter. We don't know if when he gets hit, how it goes. We don't know if he loses a round, if he can deal with it mentally and bounce back. He's good. He's good. He's like kicking box. Not only did he beat Woodley, but he was composed. He had feints. He got rocked. He did lose, I think, 2 to 3 rounds and still was able to come out and control the pace and land bigger shots. He answered a lot of questions. Now, is he going to beat Canelo or Earl Spence? Where the hell you guys want to see? No, come on, stop. The kid has 4 fights now. 4 fights. Look at his first 4 fights compared to Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury has way more experience. He's been a boxer way longer. As much hate and negativity people want to throw Jake Paul's way, can't really take it from him. The kid's pretty talented, and it showed last night. I get nervous when I talk about Jake's next fight because it's really off to the races now, man.